Good evening there, everybody. What is happening? Hopefully, y'all are having a wonderful day today. So, when it comes down to it, of course, I thought that I would give my little Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall fight review. Of course, for those of you that are familiar with my channel and maybe tuned into my live stream, you saw that I was able to do a live reaction or I was able to do live commentary. And I may do that for the Deontay Wilder fight later on tonight as well. I'll have to see what ends up happening. I will definitely try to do it for the UFC card, which is going to happen next week. But anyways, when it comes down to it, I thought that I would give my little fight review. And congratulations to Miss Claressa Shields for once again becoming a complete undisputed champion. I believe that this is the third time that she has been officially undisputed. And just like I predicted Claressa Shields, I believe, to win this fight by unanimous, or excuse me, to win this fight by decision. I don't remember if I said necessarily split decision or majority decision or unanimous decision, but I did predict Claressa Shields to win by decision. And the main reason why that was is because I was a little bit worried about how Savannah Marshall was going to fight in the clinch, or at least somehow on the inside. And that is the main thing that ended up losing her this fight. Like I said, Savannah Marshall, whether she was going to win this fight or not, it clearly was going to be the toughest fight for Miss Claressa Shields. I think all in all that Savannah Marshall, that she definitely gave Claressa Shields a tough time. And as even Miss Claressa Shields said, that girl can hit, so there's no doubt about it. But all in all, I think Claressa Shields clearly did enough to win the fight, either about 7 rounds to 3 or 6 rounds to 4. I probably would have scored the fight about 6 rounds. Well, 7 rounds to 3, probably. That's probably what I would have scored the fight around. But in my opinion, why did Savannah Marshall lose the fight? I think the reason why she lost the fight is because she didn't use her feet enough. I think that her lead hand, even though it did land, quite a bit in the fight, I think that she could have used it more than just a tapping jab and a little bit more overall than just a rangefinder. I think that Savannah Marshall overall tried to bully Claressa Shields in this fight, and she bullied her, or she tried to bully her, but she didn't bully her intelligently enough. I said that in order for Savannah Marshall to win this fight against Claressa Shields, she was going to have to fight just like Tyson Fury did against Deontay Wilder. But the problem was is that she wasn't using her feet and she wasn't using her advantages whatsoever. It just is what it is. And even with that, she still gave Claressa Shields quite a tough time, but more to her athleticism and not really due to her boxing IQ. She isn't a bad boxer by any means, at least overall for this women's boxing division. But I think that she was way too hittable after the clinch and way too hittable after the inside. And that was my main fear, at least overall for Mr. Savannah Marshall heading into this fight. And I pretty much was right on the money with that. I think that Claressa Shields, that she did everything what I said she would needed to do. She would have, to mainly use her feet a lot in this fight, move in and out. She was a lot of the times on the back foot in this fight, but the reason why she was so successful, because I did state that if Claressa was going to be on the back foot the whole entire time, she more than likely would get stopped in this fight. Claressa was on the back foot, but she was doing it to the point to where she was also aggressive when she needed to be in spots. Kind of like Canelo Alvarez, if you take a look at him against Danny Jacobs in certain rounds, or when you take a look at him against Gennady Golovkin, or when you take a look at Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Canelo Alvarez, or when you take a look at him against some of his opponents. Claressa got Savannah Marshall's respect very early on. She was using her speed advantage to the best of her degree, and that's why she won the fight, in my opinion, because Savannah Marshall, even though she was going in there, I don't know why is the longer reach fighter and why is the fighter with about a 4 inch reach advantage and clearly not being faster than Claressa Shields. I don't know why you would try to fight her on the inside even after you leave the exchange or after you leave the clinch. And that was a big fear overall that I had about Savannah Marshall. And that's why I picked Claressa Shields to win this fight just by a little bit, and it proved overall to be the right decision. Now, excuse me, I did end up overall end up getting one prediction wrong. I did end up overall getting my Alicia Baumgardner versus Michaela Mayer, or Meyer, whatever her name is, prediction wrong. I did predict Michaela Mayer to win by decision. Alicia Baumgardner ended up winning it, I believe, to a slight degree. It was a split decision win overall for Alicia Baumgardner. I personally thought that Michaela Mayer didn't enough to win, but I can certainly understand Alicia Baumgardner getting it. It was a very competitive fight, and there are certain rounds that you could debate for both fighters. I thought that Mayer probably won it 6 rounds to 4, or at least at the very minimum. I thought she got at least 5 rounds, but it was a very close fight. Certainly cannot claim that it was a robbery. Michaela was a bit uncomfortable in the early part of the fight. I said that she would need to be a little bit more aggressive, and it's very possible that she just got aggressive a little bit too late. And on top of that, in round 7 and 8, she also let Alicia Baumgardner, kind of come back when she should have not allowed that if she wanted to win the fight. But that's going to be very interesting to see if there's going to be a rematch. I highly doubt it because Alicia Baumgardner said that she is not interested in a rematch. It could be maybe because she does not want the possibility of risking losing the undisputed, or it just could be because she wants to move on to bigger things. But she has that right when it comes down to it. Michaela Mayer, if she for sure wanted to make sure that she got the decision, she should have done a little bit more in the fight. But just talking a little bit more about Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields, I think that the main downfall of Savannah Marshall in this fight was that she tried to fight Claressa Shields on the inside way too much. And sometimes you will have to fight a fighter like Claressa on the inside a little bit. She still was able to land punches. But as soon as you guys left the clinch, you should have been using your feet, you should have been using your distance, and you should have got out of range. She never would get out of range, at least not to a great degree. So that's why Claressa was able to hit her to about 2 or 3 more times than what she probably should have got hit had she just backed up and used her lead hand and then probably continued with a body attack or continued hitting her with the right hand, just like what Tyson Fury did against Deontay Wilder. But Claressa Shields' boxing IQ was that much higher than Savannah Marshall's. It still was a very competitive fight. And I even had a couple of people tell me that they would love to see a rematch. To be quite honest with you, the only fight that I've seen that I would love to see a rematch in is the Michaela Mayer versus Alicia Baumgardner fight. That's really about it. And the reason why that is because that fight was particularly close. And I personally thought that the other girl won, Michaela Mayer. But Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall, I don't think that the fight was extraordinarily close. I think that it was the most competitive fight of Claressa Shields' career. But, I mean, for Savannah Marshall, in my opinion, she does not clearly have the boxing IQ to beat Claressa. It's not that she does not have the capability, but kind of like Andy Ruiz in the Anthony Joshua rematch, he has certain strengths that he can use against Anthony Joshua, but only if he has the boxing IQ to utilize them. Same with Anthony Joshua, ironically, in the Alexander Usyk rematch. And I just don't think that Savannah Marshall, is going to have enough to beat Claressa really ever in her career. That's my view, but it just is what it is. Kind of like in the Usyk and Joshua rematch, there was a possibility that Joshua could win, but you could tell that he just doesn't have the ability nor the boxing IQ of an Alexander Usyk, and I think that this fight was very similar of that. But anyways, overall, certainly a great thank you to those of you who tune into the live stream, maybe recently watched the video, recently subscribed. A great thank you, no doubt about it. But congratulations to Miss Claressa Shields. It's also going to be very interesting to see where Alicia Baumgardner and where Michaela Mayer go from here. It's going to be very interesting. Those two women, in my opinion, had a very great fight. It's going to be very interesting to see if there's a rematch or if Michaela Mayer will have to build herself back up or if one of those women ends up facing Katie Taylor. Because apparently, from what I hear, they're not too far away from her division. But anyways, that's really about it for the fight review. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought on the fight, and I'll talk to you all later.